And so, like I mentioned, I want to spend most of today really just like letting you guys experiment and put together all the different pieces of what you've worked on so far, and then be able to share what you've worked on and get some critique on it, because this is our second to last class. And next week, what I want to do is have your songs be finalized, and then I'm going to upload them all into SoundCloud. So we'll have your songs, your original music, will actually be online in a place where you can access it, not just through Soundtrap, but you could share a link to your friends and promote your music via SoundCloud. So that is the goal. So I want to spend most of today not really talking a lot. I am going to share with you just a few different tips and tricks, and I'm going to do just a little quick recap for everybody else, just a reminder of how to, find the loops, make your own beats, etc. But raise your hand just so I can get a sense of everybody in the group. Raise your hand if you've been working on your music since last week, like a little bit. Yeah. You guys rock. You guys are so cool. That's so awesome. I can see it because I get little updates in my email that's like so-and-so just added to their song, and it always makes me so happy to see that. So just so you know, beyond this summer, you should still be able to use Soundtrap even after summer camp ends. So you should still be able to have access to it at least through September, just as a heads up for you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen here. And so I'm just gonna bring you into what I was working on earlier today. So this, of course, this is the Soundtrap studio that we've been working in. We're very familiar with it at this point. On the right-hand side, this purple button is your loops button. Remember to press the X to get to all the different options. And remember that you can search by genre, so you can search for it by type of music. So if you're really into hip hop, then you can select hip hop, and then you'll find different samples or loops that would be good for building a hip hop song. But you can also just say, okay, I just want to listen to all of the drums that are here, right? So I wanted to point out, I don't know if you guys saw this, but we also have sound effects that you can use. So the SFX button, this has some cool different, like, not necessarily like musical loops, but they're still sounds that you can add to your song to make them sound cool. I don't know what that was. All right, well, that's more like music, but there's some other cool ones too, like, I don't even know. Can make it sound really industrial and weird. So check out the sound effects and check out all the other loops. And when, of course, when you find a loop you like, then, hold on, what just happened? Oh my God. So what I actually just did was I found a sound effect that I liked. Sorry, my computer's being slow right now. I found a sound effect that I like, and I'm gonna put it in here for my transition. So these can be really good for, remember when we talked about like the building intensity in a song and having a drop happen with the boom, that this could be a good sound for that. So this is a song that I was working on earlier today. And the main thing that I wanted to show you with this, so I'm only using loops so far and my voice. So we talked about using our voice last week. So I just want to make sure that everybody sees this on the left-hand side. I want everyone to know that you can adjust your volume for the different components of your song. So if your voice is not loud enough, you can make it louder by adjusting your volume here. You can also, just so you know, you can create, if you click on the headphones button, that is a solo. So that means that you just listen to that part of the song. So for example, if I wanted to hear just what my voice sounds like in the song, I could press the solo button to just hear that part. Hey, I've been waiting for you. All right. So that just makes me hear myself, or I can solo a different track. Or the other thing I can do is I can mute a track. So I can say, okay, I want to hear it, but I don't want the synth, you know? What would it say? And now, you know, and I can isolate the different sounds to see if I like them or if I need to change them in some way. So just wanted to point that out to you. Over here is the solo and the mute button. You also have your 3 dots over here, your track options. And actually, that's not what you really, is it this guy? Let's see. Automation, no. Oh, here, if you click on the track or the loop, press the edit button, and this you can use to create a fade in, a fade out, or transform your voice, which is what we talked about last week. We used the auto tune and the voice transform last week to kind of mess with our voices. So if you want to have your song fade in at the beginning, for example, then whoops, click edit, click fade in. Okay, and then it creates this fade for you, which you can adjust and say, okay, I want it to fade in longer, or I want it to get right into it. Okay, so adjusting volume, soloing and muting, fading in and fading out, those are all important. And I'm trying to think what else I wanted to show you guys in here. Oh, the sound effects, which I already went over. Oh, and then I wanted to just remind everybody how to like cut and copy and mess with the loops. So like, for example, I'll just play this part of the song. So this is the build up. So that's how you can create that, that bridge and that build up to the next part of your song, is by cutting out parts of the loops. So if you zoom in here and you look at, let's just look at this one loop, this 808s and vocals loop, okay? I'm gonna use the solo button so I can just listen to this one loop, okay? So let's just say that I just like that, like, or just the like bow wow sound, right? Is hold on, let me just move this around. So if I go and I can actually go to a part of this clip and say, you know, oh, I zoomed in too much. And I could say, okay, I just want this part of the clip to play. Okay, so this part, I just like this sound. So to cut a clip, okay, you use the cursor and you line it up and you can look at the image of the waveform to kind of give you an idea of where you're gonna cut. So if I click on this and do Command E on a Mac or Control E on a PC, that will cut the clip. And so now I can isolate just this one sound. And I can say, okay, I'm gonna copy it by doing Control C and zoom out. And now I can actually just copy and paste that one sound and have it kind of be like remixed. So I'm kind of like remixing the clip and the loop. So you can loop the whole thing of a song, or you can also just cut out a small part of it and then just loop that over and over. So I could have the ohs going over and over and over again if I wanted it to. I don't know how it's gonna sound. I'm gonna get rid of my solo and I'm gonna see what it sounds like. Looking for you. Part didn't sound good. This part sounded weird, but just copying and pasting a little bit of the loop and putting it into a different part is kind of like remixing the loop. So it makes it so that you can have different parts of the song kind of be continued through the rest of the song, but not like by having the whole bar of sound, but just by selecting little bits of it that you like and then cutting it up and rearranging it. And it can be really, really fun. So those are the things I wanted to go over with you today. Was basically just the fade ins, fade outs, volume, how to solo a track, how to mute a track, and how to cut and copy and loop a part of a loop, not just the whole loop repeating over and over again, but how to select just a specific part of it. And so today we're gonna give you a solid 20 minutes to work on your song. Anybody who doesn't want to share, you do not have to, but I would really like it if you did. I want to spend the last 20 minutes doing some share out and critique, okay? So, and if you can just let me know, like you can send me a private message if you're like, I know I'm not going to want to share, that could be helpful because that can help me decide like how much time we need. So just let me know, okay? Does anyone have any questions? We feel good? Okay, remember Command E or Control E to cut the track, okay? And you have to select the track and you have to use the cursor, all right? Go for it. Do some cool stuff, and I'll see you in 20 minutes. I'll be here if you need any help. This is Something by Cordelia. All right, Cordelia, give it up for Cordelia. That was a very unique, very interesting song. Sometimes I like to start, and this is a good piece of advice for everyone, like I like to start with my drums. So that is kind of my backbone. That's like the most important piece. And sometimes I just use a loop and I'll just build my song around that as opposed to starting with my own instruments, because I might not be on beat, you know what I mean? I might use a drum loop later that doesn't sound good with it. But if you start with the drum loop and use the drum as the backbone and then start to add from there, that can be a cool trick. So, but really good job, Cordelia. Dylan, are you cool with me sharing this? Yeah? I'm assuming that's a yes, and I'm gonna press play. Here we go. This is Dylan's song, Bang.
Bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh my gosh, give it up for Dylan. That is so creative. It's so cool. Can you explain what that song, what the sample was? Was that with your own voice? Were you pitch shifting your own voice, or were you using a sample? I want to hear Duncan's song. Let's listen to Lazy Plasma.
other song.
Oh my God. What? Duncan, that was incredible. I think you can see in the chat how people are reacting, that people are loving what you're doing. I mean, that was, whether it was loops or not, you have the ear of a producer. You are a music producer. I honestly think that this is a beat that you could sell, you know what I mean? Like, this is a song, like, I was thinking about it from because I've done hip hop and I sing, I was thinking about it from a rap perspective, like, oh, this would be it would be such a good beat to rap over. Like, oh my goodness. Like, seriously? I could go on and on, but I think you can see the reactions from people. People love that was exceptional. It was so good. It's so good. Yeah, just the atmospheric, the tension, the build up, the way that it didn't stay the same the whole time, but it kept some uniting kind of sounds to it that held it all together. It just, chef's kiss. Mwah. Okay. All right, let's go to Garen. Garen, you cool with me sharing? I'm going to assume yes. Hopefully yes. And Dylan, by the way, you were gone, I guess, when we shared yours, but we all loved it. We loved Bang. It is hilarious and great. All right. No more spam in the chat, though, unless you're saying how good somebody's thing is. All right. Here we go. This is Garen's. This is Jasenia's song, and I'm excited to hear it. And good for you, Jasenia, for just jumping in and trying it and for being willing to share. I think it's awesome. Jasenia, give it up for Jasenia right there. That was awesome. That was such a cool intro. Like, awesome intro. And how did you make that vocal sound? Was that a loop that you found? That sounds like an amazing buildup to a song. That sounds like an incredible intro. And maybe towards the very end of it, that's where you can have the beat drop and go like, bum, you know what I mean? Like, have the vocals still stay, keep getting more intense, and then have that like dubstep drum. Okay. Yeah, extremely cool. You're getting a lot of exclamation points. Okay, and Steven, have you been able to share it with me yet? What's happening?
2.
pause it right there because we're pretty much at the end of class, but I just wanted to say that was incredible, Stephen. Like a totally different style from some of the other songs that we've heard, but very melodic, very interesting. Are you going to be writing lyrics to that song?
I don't.
It sounds like a song. Like it definitely has a song structure where it, like you have a part for the verse and then you have a part for the bridge and the chorus. I could kind of see that you were doing that, which is so, so cool. Really awesome job, you guys. Like excellent, excellent job. So, and unfortunately, yeah, I think Alex, I think Alex had to get kicked. Wow, awesome.
I went in to grab some loops, but then when there was other songs, I got parts from them.
Oh, okay, cool.
This
Very high energy, very cool synths and drums working together. That was awesome, Leif.